Always remember how that Anthony's got it started, so I get muted on that. So welcome everybody. I'm a little sluggish this morning. As I told them, I had my grandson, two of my grandchildren here this weekend. So I'm a little tired from that, but for one Blue Frog and 4 Rejuvenex, and it's amazing how quickly I'm recovering. I'm already about 10 minutes later into this. So guys, we've been talking, Coach Palmer, Coach Rowland and I have been talking about, how to make Saturdays more educational, more fun, do the things we want to do to help build our company. Because I mean, we're a mixed tribe. I mean, I think about that a lot. What makes our company so unique is the blending of so many different tribes. And honestly, I'm drinking Noni, but I don't really know a whole I drank it because they told me it's good for me. That's enough for me. When people tell me they've seen that, I remember talking with Ann Wilson. She's like, man, this stuff is, you need to be drinking this. So I started drinking Noni. But I did the same thing when Coach Farmer told me to start drinking Limu 5X. So when I go through drinking superfood drinks, people say, what superfood drink do you? I'm like, well, a bunch of them. Start with 2 Moas, and then I came with a little Noni, and then I drink some 5X, and I'm like, then come back with a little Moa. So guys, what we want to do on Saturdays, though, is what we're trying to accomplish is that, you got to find out what fits you. It may not be what I do. I'd probably take way too many superfood or phytonutrients, as my daughter tells me. But what we want to do is have people educated. And so we're going to start Saturdays and we're going to do more and more of this, is that our topics, we're going to kind of make sure that we get education on different brands. I mean, I can't even pronounce Frequoidin yet. I think I'm getting better. That they using the 5X, but I can say Noni. That's so much easier. Noni is just a 4-letter word. I can get that one out pretty simply. But Tracy agreed to come on this morning. He's been with Noni. Tracy, how long have you been with Noni? 20. You're muted. I believe he's muted, or I didn't hear him. Y'all hear him? That's on my end. I am having some computer problems. Are y'all hearing Tracy okay? Brent, I can see.
We can't hear you, Tracy.
Okay, so it ain't on my end. I hear Brent, I can't hear Tracy. We'll have him, he'll figure it. Listen, one thing we know is Tracy's the computer guru. He will figure it out. But one of the things we want to do is talk about each week. We're going to kind of highlight brands. Not every week we'll highlight a brand, but sometimes we'll talk about systems and we'll talk about other, but we're going to try to also make sure, because I get phone calls that I honestly can't answer. Our company, if there's one thing that's great about our company and also bad, is that someone calls and like, so you've been with the company 9 years and you don't really know what that is? I'm like, yeah, I'm still learning. And it's because we're such a blended family. So Tracy, you think you figured out why you're muted out yet?
Yeah, you got me now?
I got you now, loud and clear. So now my question was, how long have you been with Noni? Before we go
20 years this September. I've been with Tahitian Noni, September 9th of 2002.
Wow. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
What we want to start with today, and I think that I'm gonna take the first part before I turn it over to the coaches section is what I'll call it. Before we turn it over to the 2 coaches, I want to know what it is that makes Noni so special. I know you've got a couple of people to give us some testimonials. I don't even know who they are. But every time I'm with a Noni person that's been using it for very long, I mean, you talk about people that are like, I'll never be without it. And the funny part is, now that I'm talking about it to people working my business and I mention Noni, they're like, oh, I already drink that. Really? It's amazing. I guess what I'm going to call is it the mother of all superfoods? Because it's the first one that really hit the market in a big way that lasted. Now, there's been others that hit, but this company's still around, still going strong, and people still drinking Noni for a long time.
Yeah, it's definitely it was the very first superfruit to hit the market. And it's what I love about it, Chris, is that when you talk to people, you're going to hear so many different stories. Everybody wants the magic 2-sentence reason why Noni works. And there isn't one. It just does so many different things for so many different people. For example, there's people that I've got people in my organization that have high blood pressure that have gotten results. I've got people with low blood pressure that have gotten results. And high blood sugar, low blood, it just works because it creates a healthy body. And, there's these compounds in there. And this is why I hate to go this way, Chris, because it really creates the sciencey part, which becomes unduplicatable. And I'm all about duplication. And if you want duplication, get your butt to Orlando. But it's all about duplication. And sometimes Noni gets so sciencey because we have 22 human clinical studies done on the bottle. Like on this bottle, there's 22, not Noni fruit, but Tahitian Noni juice. The juice that comes out of this bottle has gone through clinical studies. And nobody else in the industry does that. And they're very expensive. And people always ask, why do you keep doing studies? Like if it's successful and it's selling, why keep doing it? Because we keep learning what we don't know. And we're the first to admit, we know more than anybody in the world on Tahitian Noni. But we're also first in the world to admit we don't know anything about it yet. We're still researching and trying to figure out, more and more detail of what makes it work. I believe if Tahitian Noni juice was a pharmaceutical, it would be $1,000 a bottle, and it would just be absolutely amazing. So I joined Noni not for the product. I joined because of the business. We were looking for an opportunity that was solid, that ticked all the boxes, needed to have an opportunity, a compensation plan, needed to have a company, needed to have a product. The timing was still there, but I missed the hyper growth, Chris, of the first 6 years. We joined, Noni was 6 years old. And a lot of networkers would look at that and say, you passed the opportunity. That opportunity for incredible growth is gone. That 6 years is just way too much. And we didn't believe that. We felt that we could come in and build in any environment. Because we just knew that if we went to work and worked it, we'd create it. I have to be the first to admit, I had no idea how good Noni was. And when I say good, I have to admit something. I've got people that I signed up in September of 2002 that I signed up as customers. I have not talked to since 2002. They were customers. They responded to an ad. I put them in. They didn't want to build a business. Put them on auto ship, and they've been on auto ship every month since 2002. And why is that? It's because people love the product, and it's so unique. You're not going to get it anywhere else in the world. And so when you talk to people like, well, I'm taking Noni, now the question is, are they taking the real Noni or are they taking the copycats, the phony Nonis? And there's a huge, huge difference between Nonis. We control the entire treat bottle process. We have a very, if you're qualifying, you're going to go to Tahiti this November, you're going to see this hands-on, and you're going to come out of Tahiti with a vision and a scope of how amazing this product truly is, on how we process and handle it, and the uniqueness of it that will absolutely blow you away. And so our Noni is the Noni. Like, it's at the end of the day, a Tesla is the electric car that everybody wants. Nobody really wants any other electric car. Tesla is the one. It is the grandfather of all superfruits. It's the grandfather of all electric cars. And that is Tahitian Noni juice. So when you're talking to people, you're going to find people that get better sleep with it, get better energy, help with the big things. I don't know how much we want to go into on the call here, Chris, as far as mentioning stuff, but one thing I want to do is I want to get Anthony, if you could highlight Ann Wilson. I want to bring Ann Wilson on. And Ann is one of the original OGs. When I say original OGs, Ann, who was the first person to sign up into Tahitian Noni?
Gary was asked to be the very first distributor of Mirinda.
And Gary and Ann Wilson were the very first people to sign up into Mirinda. So when I say the original OG, I'm saying this is Ann Wilson, the original OG.
So what's OG? Is OG good?
It is. OG is the good thing. That means you've been around a long time.
Oh dear.
But she went almost 26 years.
You never told me that. I mean, you're the one that you didn't even know this, but you're the reason in Destin, when you started talking about this stuff, I'm like, well, I hadn't even started drinking this product. And I saw your passion, and that's when I ordered my first Noni.
Good job.
that's when I started drinking it. So
You're a good listener.
I try to be.
And so Ann got involved in this very, very early, and she saw the hypergrowth, but Ann's story ultimately would take like an hour to go through the whole thing. But Ann, if you could give us that 3-4 minute version of your story. I mean, I like this testimony, guys, is absolutely amazing, and I absolutely love it. So Ann, would you share with us?
Yeah, just like, thanks, Tracy. Thanks for having me on here this morning. I got to water my garden last night and still this morning. So anyway, just like Tracy said, Gary and I joined with Marinda back in June of 1994. And I've been drinking Tahitian noni juice every single day ever since. And I just found that it just made me feel better. I had a little bit more energy. And I don't know, I guess I just felt better. But in the summer of 2002, I just started not feeling my best. Had some flu-like symptoms and I just wasn't hungry. I was a little bloated. So I decided to see my doctor, and he examined me and he found that I had some kind of a mass in my lower abdomen. So I went and had a sonogram, and the guy said that I had something in there that was about the size of a 4-month-old fetus. Well, I didn't feel it at all. And I wasn't, other than those little symptoms that I had, that was all I was feeling. But the next day, which was September 18th, 2002, so it'll be 20 years this year, I was in surgery. And the doctor, he was an oncologist, gynecologist. So I told Gary, I said, I think we're in trouble. But he removed a 1,032 gram tumor in my left ovary, which is about 2 1/3 pounds. It did turn out to be ovarian cancer. And my blood counts, they do a CA 125. My blood counts, the normal is anything under 35, and mine was 1,700. So usually people with that don't live very long. After the surgery, the doctor told my family that based on the blood count and the size of the tumor, that he would only give me a 30% chance of living 6 months. Well, anyway, I was in the hospital for a couple of days, and 2 days later, the pathology reports all came back, and the doctor came in and he said, you know, if I could do backflips in this room, I would, because this is ovarian cancer, a 2 1/3 pound tumor, and it has not spread. You are only stage 1 cancer. Well, we were pretty happy. But as a precautionary measure, he did recommend that I take 6 rounds, 3 weeks apart, of chemotherapy. So I reluctantly did. And in October of 2002, I started that. But there's another miracle that happened here. You know, there's a lot of people that have, you know, some side effects. And yes, I did lose all my hair, but I bought 10 wigs. So I was a different person every day. I kind of played that. I named them all. Anyway, I wasn't ever sick. I asked them if I could take Tahitian noni juice during my chemotherapy. And they said, sure, you know, just take and do and be anything you want to be. And so, of course, I wanted to drink my Tahitian noni juice. But I never had any of the sores in the mouth, or, you know, I never was really tired. And not for 1 second was I nauseated. And there was 2 different kinds of chemo that was going inside of me. You know, it's just a total miracle that I'm still here, because ovarian cancer is very deadly. And those symptoms that I mentioned at first, those are the symptoms of ovarian cancer. They're nothing until it grows and you're, you know, and then you're done. But you know, I only have to see my doctor now every 2 years. And this last December was when I went, and my blood counts were fine. My exam was spot on. And he said to me, he said, you know, we've been together for quite a while, haven't we? And I said, yeah, we have. He says, you know, I have a lot of patients that aren't that lucky. And I said, I know. And I can't claim or this will cure or help anyone, but it certainly helped me. And I truly believe, based on the cancer studies that have been done, and you can read them for yourself, that Tahitian noni juice saved my life. I would not be here without having drunk that beautiful product for all these years. And yes, I still drink it every day. I will not go a day without it. And you really cannot go wrong with the power of noni. You really can't. And that's my story.
Hey, Ann. I know there was a span in your life that, from a business perspective, that you went through a lot of loss with your parents and Gary. And just share with everybody what it meant to have that, the power of having residual income as you went through that time period in your life.
Yeah, I did tell this story in October during the Connect Live, but residual income is based on activities that you've done. There's actors and singers and everything that get residual on all the programs they've done and all the songs they've sung. But in network marketing, that's what residual income is that it lasts. And I was taking care of my husband. He had Parkinson's disease. We discovered it within a year after we joined Mirinda. In October of 97, he was formally diagnosed. And then in 2002, when I was going through all my cancer stuff, we noticed that my mother and father were kind of declining too. And I am an only child of an only child. My mother is an only child as well. And so I have no aunts, uncles, cousins, brothers, sisters, nieces, nephews. I do on my dad's side. I have some aunts and uncles and cousins, but not on my mother. So I was the power of attorney, the medical power of attorney, and the do not resuscitate on all three of them. And for a period of about 5 years, from about 2005 until 2011, that's 6 years, I was pretty much a full-time caregiver of all three of them. And without this residual income, I promise you, I would not have been able to do that. I would have been a wreck, a bigger wreck, because I wouldn't have been able to pay my bills. And they all passed away within a 15-month period of time from 2010 through 2011. And I'm just so grateful. Every single day I woke up grateful that I had Mirinda in my life, and that Gary and I had set that up, and that all the people that we had, and we have so many that have started with us, and they buy that Tahitian noni juice just like we did every single month. And that helps them not only with their health and financial thing, but it helped Gary and I with that residual income. And for 26 years, it was 26 years in June, I had, received a check every week and every month and every quarter. And what a huge, huge blessing, and so eternally grateful am I to be a part of a network marketing company, and now New Age. And I love this community. I just love all you guys. I try to get on all your stuff, and you're just so fun. And I love all the other products. I do take a lot too, just like you do, Chris. But in about three and a half weeks, I'll be 71. And so 2 days before Orlando, we'll have to have a party. And so my birthday's on the 24th. So anyway, just grateful to be here and grateful to be able to share my story today.
I want to add something to that, Tracy, if I can. I mean, a lot of people, she didn't say anything that, we've got people in the chat room. She didn't say Noni healed her in any form or fashion. She said Noni helped her. And we don't heal, treat, or diagnose anything. Right. And I too, and the reason don't say that a lot on this call, but one of the reasons Ann got on me about not drinking Noni is because I have leukemia. And so she's like, you got to add this to your regimen. She's like, you got to add this to your regimen. So, and that's what we want to make that clear. I still have cancer. I haven't cured it. My numbers are getting better all the time. I don't know why they're getting better, but they're improving. I'll get another check at the end of this month. We'll see if they continue that path. But, we don't heal, treat, or diagnose anything, but we all know if you put right things in the body, she used doctors, We're going to continue to use doctors. I still go to my oncologist. He's a great friend. So I don't want to get the wrong impression, because so many companies out there say that, and that's the case. The body can do a lot of things if you put the right things in it. And I think that's what Ann was trying to convey, is that this stuff helped her through the difficult times. I just want to, since we're being recorded, I want to relay that. We're not trying to make any claim here that what happened, other than that she felt better and went through symptoms better. And I can assure you mine are as well. So Tracy, I'm going to turn it back to you, because I don't know who all you got lined up. I just turned it to you for the day. I said, this is your deal.
No, and that's a challenge with Noni, because it is such an awesome product that people sometimes get a little too overzealous in trying to promise things. And listen, we know it can't hurt you. It might help you, and it might just change your life. And if you take that perspective with Noni into your world, you're going to see that this product is absolutely a life-changing product. I was on a call last week and with some leaders out of Virginia, Mike and Lisa. We were just having a little chat, and I told them, I said, listen, I've never seen Tisha Noni juice fail unless you don't drink enough of it and drink it long enough. And I think some people think that it's just gonna, day one you're gonna feel better. And I remember one of my very first meetings that I did for Tisha Noni. It was about 3 months after we started in this area, first meeting in this area. And go to Wilmer, Minnesota, middle of Minnesota, and this guy stands up and tells his testimony. I've never met him before, and he gets up and and I don't even recall his ailments, but he gets up and he says, "It's changed my life here. It's changed my life here." And he looks at me and he goes, "But I want to know why it hasn't helped my rib." And I'm like, it's changed your life, but then you're negative that it hasn't helped your rib pain. I mean, like, go to the chiropractor, get it put back in place. And so some people have these expectations of the juice that are just like unrealistic. At the end of the day, guys, it is 100% natural fruit juice. It's just packed full of nutrients that you don't get anywhere else in the world. Noni fruit, and Tahitian noni fruit in particularly, has more nutrients. It's larger because of the volcanic soil than anywhere else in the world. So you're starting with a primo product, plus you're getting nutrients you don't get anywhere else in the world. So when you take it, you get this plethora of different things that happen. And we went from one of the original OGs of Ann Wilson to a dynamic leader out of Memphis, Tennessee. This young man he's got a heart of gold. He's one of the nicest people on the planet. And he is a Memphis lover of Memphis. You want to know something about Memphis? Contact this guy. He will hook you up with everywhere to go in Memphis. But Dapo, Odusanya, thanks for joining us today, buddy. Share your story with us. Like, what has Noni done for you? Well, first of all, tell me how you got started in it. I think this is an interesting story, how you actually got started with Tahitian Noni.
Hello, Tracy and everyone, and good morning, good morning. Like Coach would say, waves to you, waves to you. My story was it's a very weird story. I was actually at Walmart, and this will actually blend to my story as well. I was actually at Walmart, and on this beautiful day at Walmart, it was hot, I'll never forget. I was actually on the phone having a conversation about my mom's. And unknown to me, at the checkout line, there was someone that was listening to my conversation, and I didn't know at that time. So I was leaving Walmart with my bags, with my grocery bags, walking to my car. And then I hear, hey, man. And I'm looking around like, yeah, you. I'm like, okay, do I know you? He said, no, man, hey, no, hey, bro. No offense. But I heard your story about your moms. And if you don't mind, I might have something for you. And the moment he said my moms, I left my guard down. My mom has 4 beautiful kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. And of course, I'm the only boy and of hers. And I asked him, so what's up? And he told me that, have I heard of Tisha Noni juice? I said, no, I have no idea what that is. He said, okay, have you heard of the medical PDR? For those of you who don't know, I have my master's in physical therapy. I practiced for a while before I stopped and changed careers. I said, yeah, I do know what that is. He said, if you don't mind, if you just walk to my car, I would like to show you this book. I said, I'm curious to see this book because I know what it is. So me being who I am, very curious. I went to his car. He had the PDR. There was the physician desk reference. He opened it, and there was that big old picture of T-Shinoda juice. I saw it. I was sold. I said, "Listen, just give me just give me a case," because I knew how it took, or I knew what it took to have a product in that book. And you know, I got home doing my research on it, and I realized that it did so many, it gives so much benefits. So I call my mom. My mom is here in Memphis as well, and just like Ann, my mom is now 72 years old. She turned 72 this April. And at that time, my mom was dealing with high blood pressure, high cholesterol, and diabetes. And I remember when she started, she was taking about 7 pills. I mean, 1 pill, 1 to 2, 2 to 3, then up to 7 pills. And I said, "Hey, Mom, I think I might have something for you." And she said, "Baby, what's that?" I said, it's a juice called T-Shinoda juice. He said, "The medical PDR. Don't ask no questions. Don't tell your doctor. Just drink it up." So my mom began to drink. Excuse me, I'm gonna leave tear because I get very emotional sharing the story.
Oh, that's awesome. I think it just shows the passion.
So I said, "Mom, begin to drink this product." And for 4 months, she drank T-Shinoda juice. 4 months. And I said, "Mom, when you go back to your doctor, I want to go back with you because I'm curious to see what they're going to say." I do remember my mom was taking pills for so long, for a very long time. From 1 to 2, 2 to 3, 3 to 4. So we all went back to the doctor, me and my mom, after 4 months of drinking T-Shinoda juice. I said, "I'm curious." So I went to go with her to go see the doctor. They put her on the treadmill. They ran her, stopped her, took her blood pressure. That was the first nurse. Second nurse comes in, drew her blood, they stepped out. And here comes the weight gain. We were just waiting. I said, "Hey, Ma, how you feeling?" I said, "I'm good, baby. I've been drinking my T-Shinoda juice." I said, "Okay." After almost 28 minutes of just waiting, I just step out and say, hey, doc, listen, what's going on? We've been here waiting for too long, you know? And doctors and nurses, you know how you see them down far away? "Oh, hey, Mr. Odusanya, we're coming. You know, we'll be there, you know." Eventually, the doctor comes in with the 2 nurses, and they tell her, "We didn't know what you're doing, Mrs. Odusanya, but we're gonna wean you off all your medications. From 7 meds to 0 in 4 months." I wish I had the opportunity to share a picture of my mom. And now, you know, my mom is doing good. She gives me a headache now because she always calling me. But that's the joy of it. And then from there, you know, I called this guy back. I said, "Hey, man, listen, what's in this stuff?" You know, I said, "Listen, it's a good stuff. If you just share the product, you know, you can also make money doing it." I said, "Sign me up." And it's been, you know, years now. It's been a blessing. I tell people it's really hard to explain. And for those of you who are God fearing, there's a verse in the Bible, in the book of Revelation, that talks about that there's this fruit that its leaves will heal the land. And you know, if you don't notice, T-Shinoda has no season. It grows every day of the year. So, you know, believe it or not, one can say that knowing is also in the Bible as well. So that's how I joined. By someone hearing my conversation at Walmart. and me believing in the power of the medical PDR. And Tracy, I mean, I have so many stories, but I was trying to not to cry this morning because I've told our story so many times. But if you haven't tried tea shinoni, I want to beg you to just try it. I just want to beg you to try it. And everybody's body is different. You know what I mean? And ever since then, I just share the story, share from your heart and not with your head. And you'd be amazed what will happen to you. Tracy and I, we go way back. And that's how I joined the business. And by calling the guy back who sold me or who rather share with me tea shinoni. My mom now, she still takes 0 pills, just as supplements. We've not included Magnum D and Vinale and all that good stuff, to help with her joints, but she still drinks her tea shinoni every day. And I'm just grateful. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Noni saved my mom's life. Thank you.
That is an incredible story. I did not know this story. And Dapo, we don't live far apart. I'm only 70 miles from you. I'm in Jackson, Tennessee. I'm gonna have to eat for lunch. We're gonna have to buy your lunch and listen to these. I had no idea you were so close. Sorry, I just had to bring that up. I had no idea we were that close together. What an incredible story, Tracy.
Yeah, in here, this is why I love, other than everybody's got a soft spot in their heart for their mom. And, that part of the story is incredible. But the business part of it is also a huge lesson of some guy just heard somebody talking and, got just chased him down and like, dude, I got something that could help you. And because Dapo had this open mind to listen because he was searching for something, that's all it took. And because he took the time to get the information, and what I'm trying to say is you don't know whose life you can impact. And Dapo, if I ask you right now, if you ignored the guy that chased you down that day, any idea where you would be in life? Any idea where your mom would be in life? I mean, you think about that and it's a devastating thought that person changed your life and they didn't even know you. Right? I mean, and everyone wants to talk to me. And they always want to ask, like, why is Noni such a powerful product? These two examples right here, Ann and Dapo's stories are literally, they're two of thousands of stories like this, of stories of Noni that have literally changed lives. And you think about it, and I think to myself that I have a moral obligation to tell people about the product. Now, I can't force them to take it. I can't force them to drink it. But when you have something good, this is a great question. If I had something good, would you want me to tell you about it? If I had something that could change your life, would you want me to share it with you? And if you ask people that, what would they say? We'll say, well, absolutely. Because if you ask them, Brent Palmer, if you had something good, would you share it with me? And Brent would go, yeah, I would. Well, I've got something great and I'm going to share it with you. And you create that share. One story, and then Chris, I'll hand it back to you for questions or whatever. My next door neighbor, her son-in-law, I guess, had cancer and passed away, probably 15 years ago. And he had 2 young boys and they would come over to grandma's house all the time. And, I'd play in the yard with them because, dad was in the hospital and sick and stuff. And I'm like, you know what? They didn't have a lot. And I'm like, here's 9 cases of TNJ. I said, load it up. I just take this stuff, a bottle a day, take as much as you can. And my neighbor was taking the juice at the time. And about 2 months later, he passed away. And I know it was a Hail Mary. It was, it was a 11th hour type shot, but I'm like, you know what? I've seen weirder things happen with the juice. And my neighbor stopped ordering juice. And I was like, I don't understand. She loves it. It's helping her with her, her challenges. It was allergies and sleep and anxiety. But she stopped ordering it. And I'm like, jeepers, I just gave your son-in-law 9 cases. And I was baffled by it. Turns out that he passed away with 9 cases of juice in the closet.
No. Oh no.
He never even tried it. And so she was drinking his juice that I gave him, which is I was okay with once I heard, but the whole point, you can't force people to do things. And sometimes you gotta take control of your own health journey, your own future, and have an open mind. And people always ask, why are people so passionate about Tahitian noni juice? This is why. It's a life-changing product. It's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. So Chris, I don't know how long we've gone, about 40 minutes here. I don't know if you want more, or if you want to, the whole point of this is we have this house of brands of product that are so amazing all in their own right. But Dapo and Ann and myself are all T&J lovers. I mean, I will never go a day without drinking T&J. Never will go a day without drinking T&J. But I've been exposed to these other products now. So I don't buy just T&J on a monthly basis anymore. Now I'm buying Finale, and I'm buying Rejuvenex and Restorex and all these other products because I was exposed to them in a gradual method. And that gateway opened up for me to be able to learn and not be overwhelmed. And I think that's what I love about what we're doing right now, is we're going to be able to expose people in a natural, organic way to all these incredible products. That's just going to allow us to move more volume, create more stories, impact more lives. And for me, now for all of you that don't know, one of the biggest things that makes Renew work is Tahitian noni. Tahitian noni is one of the big factors inside of Renew that makes it work. It's 3 times more effective with Tahitian noni in it. And you take that and you put it in with a patent pending process. You give that with nothing else like it on the market. And I tell you, we got a winner. And I know Ann, what was it like? Switch to business here for a sec. What was it like in those first 6 years before I got here, other than you weren't blessed with my presence, but those 6 years, that hyper growth phase, what was that like to be in that hyper growth phase back in the early days of Tahitian noni?
Well, 3 words come to mind. It was wild, it was crazy, and it was fun.
Yeah. And how simple was it? Because everyone was telling the same story, right? Everyone was pulling the same direction. Like how duplicatable was the process back in the hypergrowth phase?
Well, we just tell people, just to try it. And they'd say, well, what is it supposed to do? And I just said, I don't know. You get to tell me what it's doing for you. But this is what it's done for me. And we have, over 200 years worth of Tahitian Bibles that were written with all of the testimonials and the uses of Tahitian noni. And absolutely, we only had 1 product. Think of how many we have now. And we just have 1 case.
And clearly you had all the advantages of the internet.
Oh yeah. It was back in 96. We had a fax machine.
Right.
And conference calls. We did Tuesday, Thursday conference calls and Saturday trainings on the telephone.
And so that hypergrowth all happened organically, didn't it? It happened person to person. It happened with sharing and getting people started. And then it just took off, right?
Yeah.
And now we have this
we didn't
product.
have any of the studies. There was, I think Brent joined us 2 years later. And we just said, I don't know what it's going to do for you, but this is how I feel. And this is what it did for somebody. And we had some fabulous, absolutely wonderful testimonies just building right there just from just sharing it. And everybody wanted to try it because it was new too.
It was
And
new.
yeah,
It
it
was
tasted horrible, but you know, I just said, well, just drink it and then eat an Oreo cookie. You know, afterwards, that's all I could tell them.
And
You know,
the sales of Noni were so amazing that Oreo cookie sales doubled that year.
they
right?
probably did. That's what my daughter-in-law did, but it helped her with her migraines. It helped Gary with his arthritis and his allergies. All of his kids have hay fever and they never had it. So, I mean, I could tell those stories. There was one fellow that our partner had that he had bladder cancer, and it actually helped flush the cancer out of his bladder. And he didn't have to have it out. And that was that was one of the first biggies that we told. I mean, there was just testimonies all the time.
Yeah, you know, I feel like I become desensitized to those. Like some of the people just heard that for the very first time. They're like, oh my gosh, this is the most amazing thing in the world. And I'm like, yeah, it's kind of what happens. You almost become, it happens so often that people come back with you with this life-changing thing. And you should look at Dapo, he's shaking his head like, it just almost gets to the point of like, I can't, it just, whatever. I just expect it to work for, you know, just, it's such a special product. So I'm excited. So Ann and Dapo, in just a short little wrap up here, where do you guys see the future with Renew going? The new product Renew with Tahitian Noni in it. Where do you see the future? Dapo, you're smiling. What do you think?
All that immediately, the smile jumped up in his face.
We're gonna make a lot of money, change a lot of lives. Easy to share, the 5 sample thing.
Is he breaking up on your end, guys? Dapo, let's go to Ann. We'll come back to you. Hopefully you get better audio. Ann, how about you?
Well, Renew has changed my life as almost as much as Tahitian Noni juice did. I sleep better. I feel better. It's easy to share. And somebody will say, like my neighbor the other day, he just says, you know, I really just don't feel good. And I said, well, I've got a product I want you to try for 5 days. It's $25. Try it. And he loves it. And he just ordered it. He just went on auto ship. So it's easy to share. It's easy to ship. It's not quite so heavy in those glass bottles, but it is absolutely a fabulous product that across the board, people will want to try it and they keep with it because it does make you feel better. And sleep. Oh, you know, a lot of people have trouble sleeping, and that's one of the very first things that it does. And if they can get some kind of you know, testimony and something that works for them really fast, they're going to stay with it.
Dapo, how about you? Come back, see if your audio is better there, bud.
Hey, can you hear me, Tracy?
Yeah, you're much better.
Also, with Renew, yeah, it's going to be a high cake seller. We're going to make a lot of money, helping a lot of lives. It hits all demographics. I don't care how old you are. I don't care how young you are. You need Renew.
Yeah.
For the young fellas, yeah. For the ladies, yeah. Exercising, it's not too heavy. You can just put it in your pocket, share it. You get results quickly, you know. And just like what Ann said a few minutes ago, it's not heavy in terms of the weight that you can carry so many with you. Or, you know, compared to Tahitian Noni juice, the bottle is very heavy, and you get quick results. Just share with love, and start with a 5-day sample, you know. And yeah, we're gonna make a lot of money. Just get ready, stay plugged in, and let's have fun.
That's awesome. Hey, thanks, guys. I appreciate it. Chris, Brent, I'll hand it back to you. You guys got particular questions. If you start asking these guys about stories about Noni juice and testimonies, better pack a lunch. We're going to be here for a while. So mind yourself on how you ask those questions. But
I have one big one, but I'll save it.
So I'm sitting here this morning, Tracy and Ann and Dapo, thank you so much. And I'm just smiling inside because, you know, Tahitian Noni obviously is a powerful product that has got years of testimony. And to think that as you closed it, you talked about Tahitian Noni being inside of Renew, and I just think about this as Chris, as we wrap this thing up this morning, like, what's the power of sharing? Like if everybody on here, like if we all got excited about something, right? Let's just say, let's use Renew this morning that's got Tahitianoni in it. Like you just heard Dapo say a guy with excitement in Walmart stopped him, flagged him down. He probably thought he was about to get like robbed or something. Like, what is this guy doing? And the guy with excitement just says, look, you got to do this. It was not a perfect presentation. It was not something drawn out. Like he just did something. And years later, a residual income has occurred for that gentleman. Like there's been business for years and years and years from that one share. And so I'm smiling inside because when people are in our economy and where we're at today, and they're going, man, I need residual income. I want residual income. Well, then share, because you don't know the power of where that ripple effect will go from that one share. Like that one, just introduce somebody on this Saturday, the power of one. Chris has got it on. And people ask me all the time, like, Crystal Vance in your business, Brent, like how much money have you earned off Crystal? I don't know, because I'm still earning money.
Yeah.
I can't tabulate it. Like it's been years, but it goes on, so just share. And then as I listen to this, Tracy and Chris, this morning, we make things too complicated. We as humans, we're searching for the right comp. I got to understand the comp plan. The company's got to change this. They need to do this. We got to do the website. And it's like that guy in Walmart just shared and created a business that today still pays because of one introduction. And I go, wow, Brent, you make things too complicated. The art of network marketing is just getting excited about something and being willing to share. And it's amazing. It's what I love about our industry, Chris. It's so simple. An 8-year-old can do it, but man, do we try to make it complicated. So guys, this was powerful today. Thank you. Thank you, Tracy and Dapo and Ann.
And Dapo, I had not heard your story. Like I said, I owe you a lunch. I want to come to Memphis and just to pick your brain a bit. And Ann and I have had some time to visit before. I want to end with something that we talked about, because everybody's going to get off this call and call everybody about Noni, and that's okay. I'm not against you doing that. But I want to make a point, and that is I've been with this company, and we merged with a company that had Noni, and I didn't drink it until I heard Ann's story. I even watched it being manufactured, but I hadn't ordered any Noni. And the reason I bring that up is that Tracy has been working very hard along with Brent, and I'm going to tell them that guys, if you're going to build a massive business and help, I don't care if you're here just to make money or you're here to help. It can be both. I came here for the money. but I'm going to tell you something. These stories, I have chill bumps on my arms, these two stories. My hair is standing up on my neck, but it's not the first time that's happened to me. I've heard it from Moa. So my reason for bringing that up, and I've heard it from Limu 5X people. So there's so many phytonutrients that we get in our body, but if you don't get the hook, if you don't get the people plugging in. So when I say I feel like after 9 years, this Renew and how it's going to work, and if you will learn a system that doesn't complicate things, because I call it throwing up on people. I guess I'm getting too straight to the point. When I joined this company, I wanted to tell them all about Moa, and I want to tell them about Vanilla, and I want to tell them about the drops. And they don't know. So Renew is going to be our hook. That's going to get people started in the system. From there, they're going to hear Ann and Dapo's story. From there, they're going to hear, and that's why these Saturdays are going to be so impactful about, and each week we'll train on the systems and we'll train on different things. But guys, I am super pumped about what's coming, to the point that I can't, as good as Renew is, I'm struggling to sleep well, because it's because of the excitement level of what I know what is about to be announced in Orlando. For those, I know probably everybody on this call has already planned to be in Orlando, so that's not a point. But if you want to know how to make your business, if you want to change a lot of lives health-wise, and you want to change your financial life, everybody thinks I'm on commission. I get zero commission. I had to buy my ticket. I'm paying for my own hotel room. Okay. You need to be in Orlando to see what has been put together to take this thing into what Tracy said he missed before, the hyper growth. Brent's been through it. I've been through it once with another company that was nothing even compared to this because of what the products offer. Guys, we're really blessed to be what's about to come. And for those people that really learn what's happening, you're going to be in that place. Coach Palmer, Tracy, any parting words? We got 4 minutes.
I've got one thing.
Sure, Ann.
You know, if you use and take your products on a regular and consistent basis, and you develop your own testimony, you never have to sell. You only have to share. So if you're always afraid of selling, you say, I can't sell anything. Well, don't, then just share. But you need to be on the products. You need to take them on a consistent basis every day, get your own testimony, and then share it. That's it.
Absolutely.
Chris, I'll say this as we close, turn it to Tracy to anything you got, Tracy. But here's what I would say to everybody on the Zoom. From now to Orlando, you're obviously plugged in, like you're here this morning. But I would highly recommend that you get yourself obviously first plugged into the calls, plugged into the week, but get as many people on your team plugged in as you possibly can. So that means if I had to do a conference call with my team, if I had to get them on a Zoom, if I had to say, look, guys, wake up. You need to tune in because our company, we're about to do something really special. And we're not telling you you're going to have to wait months for this. This is coming in less than a month. Less than a month, we're going to launch something really special that for the people plugged in and the people paying attention and the people that will get excited, Dapo, excited like that guy in Walmart. Businesses are going to be set on fire all over North America because of that. So get your team plugged in.
Yeah, you know, Brent, you couldn't be more. That's the truest thing that you could ever say right now is get your teams plugged in, get them organized. And it's not too late to go to Orlando. You can still get a ticket. You can still go. Yeah, the pricing is different. It is going to be worth everything to be in Orlando because you're going to have what's called the first mover advantage in Orlando. And so get there. I think it's going to be it's that important for you to be at that event. I really do believe that. But if your team can't make it there, make sure they're organized, that they're going to be able to take advantage of information coming out of Orlando that weekend is all I can tell you. You want to be organized for that weekend because you don't want to miss that opportunity. Because I truly believe what's coming in Orlando, and I'm not a big hype guy. I'm not a big, I'm just not. I'm not going to tell you something I don't believe to be true. I believe what's coming in Orlando is going to take our company. I heard Chris Doyle say it a couple weekends ago in Mississippi. He was at a Super Saturday, and he goes, Renew is going to be a product. It's going to be $150, $200 million a year product for our company. Mm. And I'm telling you, that is hyper growth of Renew. And I believe hyper growth of Renew is going to start in Orlando, Florida, and it is going to be an absolutely epic ride. Like Ann said, it was crazy wild and it was fun. And that is coming for everybody that wants to plug into it. So with that, Chris, Brent, thanks for having us on this morning. Anytime you need us, man, we're here to share the passion of Noni. So
this is going to be a consistent thing. Like I just said, coming out of Orlando, there's going to be Noni Saturday, and there's going to be Limu Saturdays. There's going to be Nutrify Saturdays or RX Saturdays. We're going to have Saturdays that talk about the others because we're going to teach you the hook. I'll promise you, those first few Saturdays are going to be teaching the system that's going to be introduced. And from there, we're going to let people see the power of all the other product lines. And by the way, I learned something today. I don't know about anybody else. I didn't know Tahitian Noni was in the PDR. Yeah. I knew we had products in there. I didn't know that. So guys, here I am supposed to be the host. I'm learning as we go as well. Never too old to learn. Coach Roland's traveling. He texts me, don't even put me on my phone. I'm just listening in. Yeah, I've already doubled my order of noni. So he said, I'm just doubling my cases. I've been drinking these. I'm fixing to drink more. But there's nothing better than living older. And you know, as we talked about, we're the older ones here on this call.
Oh,
There's nothing better than having your health as you grow older. I mean, I still see my wrinkles coming and I still have some aches and pains, but I promise you this, I feel really good considering all the little, you know, I ain't done my body right for a long time. I mean, I hate to say that, but I've pretty much been abusive to it. So I've been trying to do better, and I have done much better with all these products that I've been putting in it. So guys, thank you for being on this Saturday. We really appreciate you. Coach Palmer, as you always. Dapo and Ann, great. Tracy, thanks for being on. Thank you for all this hard work you're doing for the system that we're putting into place. Guys, see you back next Saturday. I hope
Fantastic job, guys.
Thank
Love
you.
you guys.
Thank you.
Grateful for you.
Fantastic.
So much.
so much. Big